Hello and welcome in, World Baseball Classic fans. We are in Chicago. You just witnessed Japan taking care of business. We'll get into that, as well as last night's massive U.S.-Mexico game. NFL free agency. Huge day. 1 million deals to get to. We'll try to cover them all. We also got Texas A&M coach Bucky McMillan and USC head coach Eric Musselman coming by. It's going to be a great show, and it all starts now on FS1. What's happening, y'all? It's Tuesday here on Wake Up Barstool. T-Bob Baby, Stephen, Cheah, Eddie, and Nikki with you today. Big Cat will be here a bit later in the show. Shout out to all the World Baseball Classic fans. What was on the verge of being one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen in the tournament, with Cheah acquitting themselves well. Well, Cheah, why do I keep screwing it up? I get it wrong every time. Ever since Jerry infected me with Sezechia. But yes.
There's probably a lot of people like Jerry that are finding out that's a place.
I think Dave figured out. Okay, it was a place yesterday.
It's a cool feeling.
I've been waiting the whole time for you to say it just so I would know how to say it.
I don't know. I've done it wrong like 8 times, and I always say Cheah. And it's
when do they do the name change? Has it been less than a decade?
Yeah.
Then you're good.
Yeah, right?
You're
yeah.
good.
These things take 2016, so a decade on the.
Okay.
Yeah, actually,
okay.
no,
Now it's time to. Yeah.
It's been a decade. Anyway, so Japan though ends up taking over the end. They win 9-0. Speaking of a decade, the U.S. takes down Mexico for the first time in 2 decades. First time U.S. baseball has beat Mexico since 2006, 5-3. Paul Skeens dominating out the gate. Guys, I don't know about y'all. I had so much fun watching this game last night, dude.
I was nervous
locked
at the
in.
end.
Yes, it was great.
Yes.
I'm not used to having this sort of the butterflies in my stomach, high leverage baseball in March.
Yeah, it was electric. The AL East boys going deep. Judge, Roman Anthony. It was the only part that I took displeasure in. Obviously, was Matthew Boyd, my guy, is a Cubs guy. He was a little shaky there, so that was tough to see. But regardless, glad the U.S. pulled it out.
It's awesome to get to root for Aaron Judge.
Bro, Nick, that's so crazy. Sick. That's my exact notes.
Wait, you have that?
Dude, my exact.
I was so jealous.
It's fun getting a cheer for Aaron Judge.
Everybody should be able to get to experience that. Yankee fans hogging that is so messed up. It is every time he hits the ball so hard. That's my guy.
He's just such a beast of a man.
So sick.
He's like the true book version of Robert Baratheon.
Wow.
6'7", 280, Warhammer in hand. That's so funny you said that, man. Because I know what it's like to cheer for Paul Skeens. I saw it at LSU. It's one of the greatest feelings in the entire world. And now you get to cheer for both of them at the same time. And like you said, like AL East rivals, you know, and here they're making peace with one another.
Yeah, that had to be really weird for them. I'm curious for you, obviously as a Pirates fan, Skeens guy. Bobby Witt Jr. made that play, and the smile on Skeens' face.
I've never seen him so happy, man. I've never seen him so happy. He's usually pretty mellow. Yeah. Having that kind of broke my heart a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Because everybody's just like, he's just counting down the days to get out of there. It's like, no, we.
Yeah, like this is going to exasperate that.
I know, like watching him have fun play baseball was the worst feeling for me.
No, wait, but this is the year.
You need to realize baseball isn't fun.
Yeah.
This is the year, though, Nikki, with the Pirates, right?
This is the year.
We're back.
This is the year where
we're committed,
where it's fun.
Look, I thought, and it's funny you mentioned like some of the emotion these guys are showing. I mean, even Judge hyping up the dugout after he hit the home run, something that you don't normally see them do. The stage is just fantastic. And it seems like a probably majority Mexican, but still pretty strong mix of the crowd. It was incredibly loud. Guys looking like they were struggling to hear at the end of the game. Cheah, I got a question from you.
Yep.
Did you see Rosarena and Raleigh, the interaction or lack thereof?
I didn't see this.
So they're teammates in Seattle, of course, and Rosarena walks. And I guess this happened last WBC as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
He went to dap up the catcher who said no. Well, he goes to shake Cal Raleigh's hand, and Cal Raleigh denies his teammate. Fair or foul?
totally fair. I mean, you look at iconic moments between countries and sports. Kobe Bryant running through Pau Gasol's chest.
True.
In the Beijing Olympics. The teammates, as far as your Major League Baseball team, the place where they work, I feel like is a step below your country and your country pride. So I kind of like this.
I agree with you. I was thinking of Pau as well. Did you see, we couldn't play the audio because it's filled with cursing, but they asked the Rosarena after the game about it. He said, how do you think I should respond to Cal Raleigh? How should I put it to him? I want to say it in 4 languages. First in Spanish. The only thing he should be thankful for is having such great parents. He's very well educated, thank God. I was lucky enough to see them a few days ago at the hotel. They came over to greet me, gave me a big hug. I'm genuinely proud to see me again. Pretty nice so far. Then he said, after that, I want to give to him straight Cuban style. What he has to do is F off, Mexican style, go to hell. And in English, that fake ass good to see you he hit me with, he can shove it straight up his ass, I'm out. That's a pretty strong response to go 4 different languages on Raleigh, dude.
Yeah, that's cool. He shows off like he knows 4 languages.
Yes.
Quadrilingual.
Yes.
And then he was just like, also, I'm close with your parents. Like that was almost a thinly veiled threat. Like, your mom came up to see me, by the way.
Shout out to Rosarena. But look, that's been the cool part about this tournament is everybody actually cares. Like, from the players to the crowd. And that energy is infectious. There's no other way about it. And it's really sucking everybody in. And we're still in pool play.
And can I say, too, I think a big part of it here is I think they nailed the host city. Like, I think Houston is a good ballpark for this.
Yep.
For some reason, it feels like it has a lot of... Yes, the indoors, the energy, the left field cutouts where the fans are. Houston has always been a ballpark that has a lot of energy.
If only we're not in Houston, then I'd like it.
But in a weird way of it being covered, I feel like it's helped it.
Yeah, I think so. It adds it's like a contained chaos.
Yes, so I think Houston has done a great job hosting.
It was great. Also, shout out to Paul Skeens, who brought the entire Air Force baseball team to the game last night. It was a very patriotic and solid moment watching those guys cheer in the crowd. And then Griffin Jacks, the Air Force grad, coming up with the big moment. I think in the 8th it was, before Whitlock came and shut the door. So, fantastic game last night. Go USA. The journey to gold continues. Cheah, we're going to head to the NBA here.
Okay.
Because SGA making NBA
MVP moment
history last night. I mean, yes, on top of the massive, very skilled, badass game winner dagger over the Nuggets and everything, all the implications of him and Jokic and whatnot. This is unbelievable, guys. SGA tied Wilt Chamberlain's record for the most consecutive 20-point games, and it kind of stuck up. Like, we're prepping for yesterday's show, and we just noticed that this was in play. 126 games in a row, SGA's turned in 20.
Yeah, I mean, he was the MVP last year for a reason. He had his kind of MVP moment last night with the game winner. But he's just super consistent. He's the go-to guy on the team. He's the most efficient, mid-range guy we've seen in quite some time. He's an awesome, awesome player and the engine of the championship Thunder and a team looking to repeat. So this is a remarkable consistency streak, but he's just an incredible player.
I don't want to go overly negative here, but is it a sign of maybe the NBA's lack of capturing the general public as nationally now that this wasn't talked about more? Or is this too kind of obscure to roll off the tongue?
I mean, if you look at today's game, you're seeing a lot of guys that are averaging the high 20s and 30s a game. Like, he averages 30 points. His line is 31.5 points per game pretty much every night. So he said personally he considers it a failure if he doesn't score 30 points in a game. So for him to not get 20 points is a remarkable consistency thing, but for him is still below standard.
I think we're in an era of stat exhaustion.
Right? We have too much data.
We have too much. We got the ex-Wabas in baseball. There's a lot going on in the NBA, but I think this is a worthy stat. 20 points is, I know a lot was made, right? LeBron didn't hit double figures for the first time this year.
Yeah.
The first time in almost 20 years.
Yes, a long time, yes. So it's probably his first couple years in the league. But this is pretty crazy.
So, I mean, to really reinforce, and again, I think it's also nice that this comes kind of in the era of load management where everybody's complaining about the best players not playing or not giving a damn or not showing up every night. Like that is a feather in SJ's cap. But to reinforce how incredible this is, so SJ Wilt Chamberlain, they're tied right now with 126 in a row. SGA has a chance to break that. The second longest streak is Wilt at 92. Then Oscar Robertson at 79. And then Michael Jordan and KD at 72. So, I mean, you're looking at the pantheon of the gods here and something that hasn't been done in 60 years that SGA is doing. So just take a moment today, regardless of if you care or not, like, you can appreciate greatness. That's incredible. And it's something to watch for in their next game, Kenny. Stand alone atop the Heat.
I will spoil it. He's going to get it against the Heat.
Yeah, yes. It would be truly shocking if he was unable.
Well, what's more impressive, this or the LeBron double-figure streak?
So the double-figure streak for LeBron was a regular season stat because I think he had like 9 points in a finals game against Dallas in like 2011.
I kind of think this is.
I actually think the LeBron one, just because it spans so long.
It's so long, but
like,
when you play that many minutes, like you can kind of roll out of bed, hit a couple free throws, score a couple buckets.
Yeah, this is kind of like are you a compiler versus like a Jim Brown type career distilled into a basketball framework? I'm with this because of the names we just mentioned, the streaks that those guys reached. And to be able to do this in the modern era where people aren't showing up every night or somebody's supposed to be able to get you that night, no, I think I would say this.
Then why aren't people excited about it?
It's Oklahoma City. It's a very small market. Like, this was an awesome game last night. This was one of the games there. Denver is down by 4 points with like 15 seconds left. They got a 4-point play to tie the game. SGA hits the game winner. I mean, these are two titans of the game, two teams that could meet in the Western Conference Finals or like decide the finals. The West is going to be pretty heavily favored over the East. But it's just, Cheah is seen as more of like he gets the rap as like a free throw merchant. He does take a lot of free throws. Yeah. He is excellent. He's an excellent player. He started shooting a lot more threes this year and at a really good clip, but he's just not the modern day, like, super exciting, super flashy player. He's just wildly efficient.
I think Jokic might be averaging more free throws this year. I'm not 100%. I feel like I saw the. Well, I'll check it during the break. All right, when we get back, guys, we have a ton of NFL news to get to. Free agency is underway, and, everything is changing. So we'll get to all the biggest deals coming up next here on Wake Up Barstool. If you want to get your questions in on Twitter, hashtag AskWuff, we'll answer them. Welcome into Wake Up Barstool. Big Cat's here now, and it's perfect timing because, I think we all know where we want to start. If we get a camera on. Cheah here. Where's that smile that my mom loves so much? Where'd it go? What jersey do you have on?
Mike Evans is going to go into the Hall of Fame with the San Francisco 49ers. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, he'll probably play like 2 or 3 more years.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll think of him as a San Francisco 49er.
Yeah, they're going to be great years.
It's going to be fun trivia of, like, what team did Mike Evans play for before the 49ers?
Right, exactly.
Jeff D. Lowe.
Exactly.
Can't wait.
Listen, Steven wanted a one-jersey guy. He didn't get it because he, honestly, if we have to point the blame at any one person.
Yeah, there's one.
It's Stephen Cheah.
Oh, no.
Yes, 100%, because what he's about to say is Todd Bowles.
Okay.
Stephen Cheah was too late to the fire Todd Bowles train because he has relationships in the building. So Todd Bowles probably kept his job because #1 Bucs fan Stephen Cheah didn't call for his head until very late last year, and now it's cost him Mike Evans.
So Stephen lost objectivity because of his personal.
He's never had objectivity.
No. I called for him to be fired in, I think, like late November, early December.
It was so late. It was so much later than everyone. Like, everyone was calling. He's been stinking forever.
And Steve, you have a lot of influence.
I
think you are kind of a mouthpiece for the team. For
yes,
the fandom, at least.
Agreed. I wouldn't be shocked if Jason Light is watching this right now, being like, "We go how Steven goes." Todd Bowles is a bad coach. He was bad coach of the Jets, bad coach of the Bucs. You guys kept him, and now it cost you one jersey, Mike Evans.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. So Mike Evans signs with the 49ers. He made $21 million last year. He signed a 3-year, $42 million. It's essentially a guaranteed 1-year, $16 million deal. So he took a pay cut. This wasn't about the money. The Bucs lost 7 of their final 9 games, including A 29-28 loss in Week 15 to the Falcons. Evans had 6 catches for 112 yards in that game. Heartbreaking loss. They give the game-winning field goal at the end. They give up a 3rd and 28 that turns to a 4th and 14. Atlanta kicks the field goal. Evans is seen going crazy on the sidelines, yelling at Todd Bowles, and then walking into the tunnel and just screaming how they lost that game about 3rd and 28. Mike Evans simply just doesn't believe in Todd Bowles anymore. The defensive coach who has consistently had an underperforming defense. June 26, 2025 is a key date in franchise history. That is the date that Todd Bowles signed a 3-year extension. He now sits at 35 and 33.
That's not the key date, but go ahead.
He sits at 35 and 33. He's 1-3 in the playoffs. This was also about legacy. So Jason Light, the general manager, this was his first ever draft pick in 2014. He wanted to keep Mike Evans in Tampa more than anyone. Mike Evans has 866 catches, 13,052 receiving yards, and 108 touchdowns in his career. Despite having 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons, he's been underutilized recently, with the Bucs needing 1 win.
You said this was going to only be a minute.
This will.
I'm enjoying this.
No,
I'm
this has
enjoying
been
this
like 3
dissertation.
The Bucs needed 1 win to get into the playoffs. The final 3 weeks of the season, he had 96 total yards receiving. In the final week of the season, win and get in, and need some help on Sunday. He had 2 targets. Evans wants to be in the Hall of Fame. He's seen a wide receiver with very similar numbers, and Torrey Holt sit on the sidelines and get snubbed year after year. Going to San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, he's going to be the number 1 guy with an offensive coach who can consistently put him in a position to succeed. This was kind of a no-brainer, so congratulations to Mike Evans on a fantastic career in Tampa, and I'm sure a lot of success in San Francisco. He'll be a Buck legend forever, although not a Buccaneer.
You got to realize that
Very
he sat
gracious.
through a WBC and an SGA segment before he got that out. Like, I think OJ and the Bronco could happen last night, and Mike Evans is still like the number 1 story to see.
Yeah, in his brain. I think we're at the point now where there are certain moments in sports history that you can look back and you can say, wow, that changed a lot of things. The Herschel Walker trade for the Dallas Cowboys, starting that dynasty. You can point to Tom Brady falling in the 6th round to start the Patriots dynasty. And I think at this point, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers letting Liam Cohen walk out the door to keep a really bad coach in Todd Bowles will forever alter that franchise history and possibly football history.
Is he a really bad coach, though?
I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he's ever been a good coach.
Really bad?
Yeah, I mean, he got a lot of credit for having Jets teams win 9 or 10 games but not make the playoffs.
There was the 1 year that they had that they were very good with.
What year was that?
2015, I think.
So it was like kind of still it was residuals from the Rex Ryan Jets and maybe a couple years after that.
Yeah.
Either way, I think he's been a mid to below average coach, and he's been given a team that was a Super Bowl team, like he was handed that. Baker has been awesome. Mike Evans is a future Hall of Famer, and this is what he's done. So it's guys like Steven who have not called for his head earlier.
So is the age of the Buccaneer relevance over?
Oh, definitely. This is the end. This is the death of the mini dynasty.
So we don't have to think about this team ever again.
Dynasty.
Correct. The mini dynasty, according to Stephen Cheah, where they were the top 5 teams in the last 6 years.
It's a death of piracy.
Yeah.
Did y'all sign anybody excited? The Saints get Etienne yesterday. Panthers signed.
Alex Anzalone
Jalen
is a
Phillips.
great signing. Kenny Gainwell. That's a good signing.
Can I say something about free agency? I know we're going to get into free agency.
Yeah, we have a million deals to get to.
Free agency is so stupid. The money's stupid. It's not real. None of the money is real. Like the numbers that get reported are all insane and they all don't make any sense. And then, yes, there's a few, and when we get into it, there's a few that I can specifically say I think that team got markedly better. But for the most part, if guys are free agents, that means that's for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, the best guys do not become free agents. So, free agency, we get really worked up, and I love it. And I obviously do think there's certain teams that got a lot better. But we're also just kind of talking, and we don't know what's going to happen, and we have no idea who's actually good and who actually got better.
I did read something interesting, or a great line that was like, you're paying a premium for sub-premium players.
Correct.
Just by the nature of it. But this does come on the heels of what we just saw the Patriots do, where they basically did what the Raiders did yesterday. I mean, they went all in on free agency, added a ton of guys. It worked out there. Seattle didn't exactly do that. They were, I guess, more judicious in the guys that they added, but they were very involved last year. Like, I feel like, because it's a copycat league, all those cliches, like people look around, they see what the Patriots did, they're kind of like, okay, well, maybe you can make this work.
Well, it has to come with the Patriots' schedule.
You get the right guy. That is fair. Yeah. But you can get way better.
No, of course you can get better. I'm just saying that it's always we do our grades. It's like I don't really.
The grade that's like draft grades. Yeah. It's impossible. It's
and this is also this is partially the years that we won. The Bears won offseason champs every single year.
We won all.
And then you never.
You learn to like temper your expectations and maybe not go crazy every year.
I did think that one interesting trend that I felt like I saw yesterday is more short-term deals with higher guaranteed money. Yeah. So that everybody kind of knows, like teams aren't overcommitted for long times and players kind of know that, okay, I'm at least getting this money for sure.
Really those wins are getting guys who are on teams that were against the cap. Right. Because those guys they wanted to keep, but it's like we just physically couldn't do it because we had no money.
Right, and there are definitely some teams, when we talk about it, like there's some teams that I've already written down, I'm like, that team I feel like got way, way better. The Bucs were not one of them.
Okay, so give us one of your teams.
I think the Rams are going to be awesome. I mean, they had their biggest weakness was their cornerbacks. They had just really subpar cornerbacks going down the stretch last year. They couldn't play man coverage in big-time moments, which is kind of how you have to win these big-time games. You can't just sit in zone. And getting the McDuffie trade and then Jalen Watson, getting him, I think they had one weakness, and I think they fixed it.
And they still have 13th overall pick?
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Like, great.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Like, their offense it doesn't really need anything. And, yeah, obviously, they have a window here because Matthew Stafford's not going to play forever. But I was really impressed with the Rams, how they went and attacked it, and it was just, like, instantly or better. And probably the best team in the NFC.
Yeah. The Raiders, too, man.
I thought the Raiders' haul was pretty crazy.
The Raiders are in a situation where I love the Linderbaum. I know that people will say it's an overpay. I also think it's a great deal for Linderbaum because he's 25 years old. He's going to hit free agency again at like 27. I think it's essentially a 2-year deal. I do think that that's the smart move when you have a rookie quarterback to get some stability, especially Kubiak, Shanahan offense. You're going to need a center who can be athletic, who can do a lot of things. So that was great. But like the Raiders are a perfect example. If they had so many holes and they had to fill all of them, so of course they look good on paper. We'll see how it works.
I mean, the context matters a lot in that deal.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's 2 years.
Yeah.
And they have a ton of money to spend. They got to spend it.
And like, what do you want your rookie quarterback to feel comfortable?
Exactly.
It's a guy who knows how to stand there at the line of scrimmage and help you out.
Yes.
From a timeline perspective, what the Raiders did is kind of a bit of a front office dream. In that you have the number 1 overall pick, you're going to draft a quarterback. You have a brand new head coach. Both going to be chosen by the GM. You now add Linderbaum in the center, but it's not just him.
You got 2 picks this year, 2 picks next year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just traded Crosby, so he didn't match the timeline. You got the 2 picks coming. Like, this could, if they execute, which is the biggest if in the world, to your point. Like, talent evaluation sucks. It's impossible. But if they execute, like, this could set the Raiders up to be good for a very long time.
I do like I am a fan of what the Raiders did in the fact that they just needed guys that were competent.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you just need to field a football team.
Yep.
Like, the Jets are kind of trying to do the similar thing. Where it's like just
trying to field a football team.
No, but it sounds really harsh, but it's the truth. It's like, you just need guys that are quality starters that would potentially start on other teams. Because how many guys on the Raiders last year would start on other teams?
Yep.
Like Brock Bowers.
They signed both Georgia linebackers, Kenneth Walker and Kobe Dean.
And the story there to kind of point out is
both
that
of them. There's only 2.
Nakobe Dean had basically the same offer from the Cowboys. Meaning that for whatever reason, and we love talking about Cowboys on national TV, for whatever reason, the pitch of the Las Vegas Raiders, who've been hapless, was stronger than that of the Dallas Cowboys. That's gonna hurt old Cheah.
I would take that. I would go Vegas over Dallas. Easy.
Man, being a Cowboy would be cool.
Being a Raider would be cool.
I forgot about the flip side.
Yeah. Gotcha there.
Oh my goodness.
Also, I feel like people wouldn't dog you as bad.
Yeah, you're more likable.
You're not under the microscope as much. And you live in Vegas. That's cool.
Yeah.
Think about how many.
Is living in Vegas cool? I can't ever
think about how
decide.
many
I don't
magic
know.
shows you can go to.
There's a lot of Shin Lim. I would
You
go.
could-
I would
you
spend
could-
my. I would want my signing bonus to be just
Shin
season
Lim.
tickets to Shin Lim. Master of Smoke and Illusion.
Is Turani at Carrot Top again?
Yeah.
All right. What about the Chiefs? There's a lot made of the Kenneth Walker signing.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid. Travis Kelce officially returning. Is too much made of the Kenneth Walker signing?
No.
I like it.
I think they've just been desperately looking for that for a while now. They have just had no running game, no explosive running game. I think Kenneth Walker's perfect there. And they need to figure this out where they get their offense is it just hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
And I like this move a lot.
Yeah, it's cool for both parties. I
Yeah.
think I was happy for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like spare parts just weren't working.
Right.
Like they tried to make it happen. That's where there's so much debate about paying a running back or not. Like it was just time for them to do it.
Right.
They needed to.
So now the Chiefs they finished third. They finished third in the division. So they'll have a third place schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kenneth Walker. Kelce coming back. Mahomes' health. We'll see what it is. Super Bowl. Where
Like the ninth pick or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they the favorites again?
No. You don't know what Mahomes is going to be like. And they lost their secondary. They have to retool their secondary.
Yeah. That's true.
But I think this was a really smart move by the Chiefs, especially with Mahomes coming back. You need some type of. The Chiefs just haven't had playmakers. You know what I mean? I know Rashee Rice, but Kelsey's on his 14th season. They haven't had another running back. It feels like they've had no pop. And they've had to just put it all on Mahomes. So this at least gives him a little bit relief of saying, hey, we have a running back who can actually have some pop here.
I'm happy for Chiefs fans because imagine Travis Kelce in another uniform.
Oh, man.
It'd be pretty brutal, wouldn't it? Lifetime.
That would be so bad.
Chief for life.
Oh, Chief for life. One jersey guy.
I know.
Those don't come around very often.
It's rare nowadays.
Coming up next, let's talk to Fox MLB announcer Joe Davis, getting into some WBC and more. Baseball right around the corner. More Wake Up Barstool right here on FS1. Go to Twitter, #AskWub. We'll get to the best ones at the end of the show. The World Baseball Classic continues as Team USA takes on Italy in their final game of the group stage. It's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's right here on FS1. And who better to talk to than the man who'll be on the call tonight? He's all over Fox, Dodgers, all your MLB coverage. That is our guy, Joe Davis. Joe, what's going on, man? How we doing today?
Morning, boys. I'm good. How you doing?
Doing well. Besides that little flub there. Look, man, I've gotten completely sucked into the World Baseball Classic. It's the energy of the crowd, the energy of the players. We broke it down at the beginning. Last night's U.S.-Mexico game was friggin' awesome. What have your thoughts on the tournament been so far?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's the first thing that we all get drawn to is seeing these guys look like kids out there playing. Just unabashed love and joy for the game. And, man, when you get it in an environment like that where they were saying, hey, this may be like a pro-Mexico crowd. It may be 60-40, and then it becomes 70-30 Mexico crowd, but USA plays the way that they do. I think that tends to instigate and elevate both sides, and it was a madhouse in there.
Yeah, I was skeptical going into the World Baseball Classic. Then as soon as Schwarber hit a home run on Saturday night, I was like, I started to get all the feels. I actually kind of had my Scooble moment where I was like, I didn't realize I was going to care this much. Where are we at with Scooble? We love Tarek Scooble, but what is the vibe with the team and just everything surrounding that? The fact that he had to leave and said he wanted to stay. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, and hey, to be honest, going into my first World Baseball Classic in 23, I was the same way. I was like, this is just getting in the way of getting ready for the real season. What are we doing? And then, bam, I'm in. I'm in. I love it. So, Scooble, I think that you've got an entire team that realizes by pitching even one game, look, I mean, like any of these guys are taking on risk by doing this at this time of year. This is the time of year where pitching injuries happen more than any other. And this is a dude set to make $500,000 this offseason. So I think that, you want everybody to be reins off, come pitch whatever we need you to pitch. But especially for Tarek, I think everybody was appreciative that he did what he did with the one game. And then for him to be like, dude, come on, I want to stay and do two. I think that it is entirely admiration from his teammates that he would want to even consider going back out there and pitching again. But sounds like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I do love Scooble, and he's a friend, but I'll just say, like, right now, I'll pitch as many innings as needed. So, like,
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Very brave
Admirable
of you.
of you as
Yeah, right. I'm that type of guy. I love my country that much.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Joe, will you relay that to the team?
Yeah,
When you
let 'em
see them,
know.
will you let them know that
Yeah.
Big Cat's in?
Circle up,
Let 'em
boys. Circle up.
I'm not worried about injury.
Yeah. One thing that me and Nick were talking about, Joe, that's been the most fun part is getting to cheer for guys that you like traditionally hate. Like, I don't know. I had no idea it was going to be so much fun to be an Aaron Judge fan. I've never liked any Yankees. And then all of a sudden he's on your team getting to cheer for him. It's just like, it's nice to be able to watch one of the most dominant do it for a team that you're actively invested in.
Yeah, that is something cool about it. And then seeing these guys, like, we get to see it, everybody gets to see it from 7 to 10 when the games go on, but then watching them take batting practice together where it's Judge taking swings and then he steps out and he's giving a fist bump to Roman Anthony and then he's got his arm around Bryce Harper. It's like, what kind of weird dream am I in right here watching these guys together? So it's a treat, right? This is every 3 years. It's a week and a half together, just a little burst of emotion. And you're showing these Bobby Witt highlights here.
Oh, my God, dude.
It's so much fun. Rolled into such a compact time frame.
Joe, who do you have as like more of an under the radar type of guy who's one of the biggest winners so far in the tournament?
I think Anthony. I think that everybody that follows baseball closely, and of course Red Sox fans know who Roman Anthony is, but he's only been up for a few months. He came up last June, and now he's this 21-year-old kid on this star-studded team who's hitting a ball 500 feet last night. So Roman Anthony, sure. It's hard to say Bobby Witt because he's been so good for so long now. This is going to be his 5th year. But last night's an amazing example of how many incredible skills the guy has. He's got these 2 diving plays. He's got 2 doubles. He steals a base. So I think guys that are star players that big-time baseball fans know are star players, that people that are kind of casual fans are probably having their eyes open to.
I still don't know how Witt got up so fast off of his belly. Like, it actually defies physics in a lot of ways. What about this? So we talked to Adam Wainwright on Friday, and I was pretty mind-blown because, he's been on all the biggest stages. And he said in 23 against Venezuela, that was the loudest game he has ever been involved in. It was the most intense game he's ever been involved in. You've called games on the biggest stage. How do some of these games in these environments compare?
We were talking about that a lot yesterday going into the game and then after. I think yesterday, I would say that yesterday, because the U.S. had that huge haymaker in the 3rd inning to score those 5 runs, it muted it some.
Yeah.
But then you saw Mexico coming back late as soon as they had any kind of momentum. The Mexico crowd was right back in it. I think in the world, there's more of like a party, festive vibe to these WBC games. While in a matchup like that, you get a little more of the edge. But I think back to like Game 7 in Toronto last year.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy.
The tension in a game like that, it's easy to get recency bias here and be like, yeah, this is better than Game 7 of the World Series. I don't know about that, but it certainly is. Let's compare it to what we're used to on March 10th or whatever this is. How about that? It's another world.
Yeah. Hey, is Cal Raleigh and Randy Rosarena, are they actually beefing?
I don't know. I saw that too. I didn't see that until after the game.
Yeah. I think they're mad.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love it. I love that Cal was like, hey, we're not teammates right now. Like we're going against each other. I hope that they can get over it once the season starts, but I want this to happen. I don't want it to feel like an all-star game. I want it to feel like rivals going up against each other.
So Will Smith did that to him in 23 in the matchup.
Yep.
That was a little more understandable, but like you said, these are teammates.
Right.
And I love Dumper basically saying, like, I'm setting the tone, bro. We're not friends.
Joe, did you see Rosarena's response after the game?
No.
Oh, okay. We went over in the first one. He responded in 4 different languages. I couldn't tell, though, if he was kind of being playful or he's basically telling Cal to shove it up his butt. Anyway, what about Paul Skeens last night, man? Absolutely fantastic. Had the Air Force boys out there, Jax as well. I mean, what more can you say about Paul Skeens? And like, we got a Pirates fan right here.
Yeah.
It's just the Pirates year, dude.
In a meaningful game. It's fun.
So Eddie brought it up. It broke me to see him smiling. He should not be having fun. He shouldn't realize that he can have fun playing baseball. That was the worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet, right? It's kind of like a movie. You got a fighter pilot starting for Team USA and just shoving. So that was sweet. I think that, like to see him pitch in a big game, it's awesome to watch Paul Skeens do what he does, but just the Pirates have been so far out of it since he's gotten there. You haven't had that added layer to it. And Smoltzy talked about it, to see him harness what comes with a big game the way that he did. And the added level, I think, of context of his background. I think that there's some extra weight, some extra heaviness that comes from that. He really does feel a great responsibility, probably on another level that guys who haven't had the background that he has had could appreciate. So to see him harness it the way he did and dominate the way that he did, I think that we all hope that he would, but could understand if he didn't, especially this time of year. I loved it. And I'm pumped we get to see it again, I think Sunday in the semifinal.
Yeah. Joe, I was saying in the first half of the show, too, I think Houston's ballpark is the perfect place for this. It's just always is full of energy, you know, the cutouts in the left field and everything like that. Do you think it's going to lose some steam? Because doesn't it move at some point to Miami?
It moves to Miami. Yeah. And I agree with you. This is an amazing environment, perfect size. But Miami is another level of crazy. Oh, yeah. Being the Latin America melting pot that it is. True. You wait. If we get like Dominican Republic and Venezuela in there, like Wayno was telling you guys the other day, that environment that he played in against Venezuela there last time was as good as he's been in. I know you guys have seen some of the clips of Team Dominican, and by the way, they are scary. But Team DR, seeing those guys perform in that place where they've got 30,000 Dominican fans going nuts. I think it lines up to be Dominican Republic against Japan in the semifinal.
That's what we're gonna ask. Yeah.
How about that? You couldn't have more polar opposite in terms of just vibe when they come. You know, the regal professionalism of, and against just this rambunctious party of Dominican Republic. You know, shaking their backside. We say backsides on the show.
Yeah. Say whatever you want.
Shaking their thing, whatever. Yeah, it's like, I want to have fun, but I don't want to get fired. You know what I mean? Having fun in that environment. Miami, as good as this ballpark is for this, Miami is hard to top for those semifinals and final.
Love it.
Joe, who would be so US is the odds-on favorite right now. Who would be the worst matchup for them, assuming they get to the finals?
It's hard not to say Japan, just because Japan beat them last time, and they just have a style in international play. I think Tom Verducci, in one of his columns recently, had a note that they all-time in WBC play are something like 32-7. Japan is, that just something about these international games, they are really hard to beat. But that Dominican Republic lineup in that ballpark, terrifying.
Yeah. Joe, what about this? So a lot of hand-wringing, weeping, and gnashing of teeth with the Dodgers this offseason. We have a bunch of Cubs fans here. Y'all now have Kyle Tucker. What's your view? Someone who's very close to the situation on the Dodgers, what they mean in baseball as a whole, and are they winning again?
Well, you guys should know I grew up a diehard Cubs fan in Michigan, watching games on WGN, at my radio, sitting out on the beach in Grand Haven, tuned to WGN 720 every day. So I've got a little perspective for you from that side of it too. I think that the Dodgers are doing what any team could do if they, maybe not to that level. I know not every owner and not every ownership group has the financial resources that they do, but as far as spending and not being afraid of what is coming with the labor strife, they're doing what any team could do. And I get too that you win back-to-back titles. Even if you don't go do that, you've become the evil empire in a way. Mm-hmm. So to win back-to-back titles and go get the best pitcher available and go get the best hitter available, I totally get why that the evil empire persona is stacking up. And I don't think that's a bad thing for any sport, to have that the evil empire that everybody else is trying to knock off.
I would agree. How are you feeling about the Cubs?
I don't know how to feel because it's like they lose Tucker but add Bregman. I love both guys. I think that the division, as it has been in recent years, is right there for them to take. And you guys know, you get into the playoffs, who the heck knows at that point? So I don't know. How are we feeling? How are you guys feeling?
95 wins. That's my official prediction. Yeah.
Didn't love how Matthew Boyd looked yesterday. I'll say that.
Listen, spring training. I think if Justin Steele can come back in mid to late May and be what he's supposed to be, everyone slots in. There's obviously ifs with injuries. Edward Cabrera, I think, could be really good if he stays healthy. So, I'm going to say 95 wins.
Yeah, I feel good about it. Like you said, we need a Cabrera. We need a top of the rotation kind of guy. Obviously, I love Bregman. He's going to just fit the mold of the city pretty well. So I'm more closer to 95 than
I hope you guys are right, because Wrigley's the place I grew up going to games, fell in love with baseball there. To do big-time games there, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Count me the Cubs winning 95 games and being right there to the end.
Yeah.
Joe, anything on tonight's game? Any storylines, angles, anything you're chewing on that you want to set the scene with before we let you go?
Espresso machine in the dugout. Love it. For Team Italy. When I going into the WBC, I was like, oh, God, I got Team USA against Italy the last night. Like, mercy rule. That's going to be terrible. And then I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. These guys are legit. Yeah. And really, they're 2-0. It's my wife was at my family's with me here, and my wife's like, wait a minute, Italy has baseball players? And I was like, no, these guys are from Jersey. Their grandpas were from Italy. These guys mash. It's like it's a lineup full of big leaguers who are going to make life tough on Team USA, as they have so far, the teams they've played throughout this WBC. So it's not a walk in the park, which makes it that much more important that USA comes in 3-0 in pole position. The pressure's on Mexico playing Italy the next night. They have to win that game in order to get in. So they're going to face Michael Lorenzen, giant biceps, former pitcher for the Angels, Phillies, legit, and a lineup full of big league guys. So it won't be easy.
Joe, can't thank you enough for the time this morning, man. I know it's very busy. Again, he'll be on the call tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on FS1. Thank you, man. Have a great day.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, guys. Good to talk to you.
All right, guys, coming up, we still have more NFL free agency news to get to, a lot of deals that we didn't touch on. We got a couple of basketball coaches coming up later in the show as well, with A&M's Bucky McMillan and Eric Musselman going to be here live in studio. So plenty more Wake Up Barstool this morning on FS1. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. NFL free agency yesterday. Insanity all over the place. Let's get to the quarterbacks. I don't think we've talked quarterbacks yet. It's kind of shocking. Malik Willis, start there, going to the Dolphins. I think this is a hell of a deal here. Because, I mean, look, they got 99 in dead money to Tua. We'll get to him in a second. But this is not a overly pricey contract. Feels pretty fair for the sample size that he has, and it could end up being like a massive win for both sides.
I could see that. I initially was like, Malik Willis, good for you. You got your money. At what cost? Because now you're stepping into a situation that's not good, and it's probably not going to be good for a couple more years. And Jeff Hafley obviously knew him from in the GM now for the Dolphins. They both are in the Packers, so they knew Malik Willis. They trust in him. But it's like you're going from a situation where you're on a good team on the Packers. You came from a bad team with the Titans. You go to a good team with the Packers. You have success. Now you're going back to a bad team with the Titans.
Yeah, but to be a quarterback, if you go somewhere that needs a quarterback, it's not going to be a good team.
Yeah, agreed. Although there are ways. I mean,
Pittsburgh.
The Vikings or something. I feel like everybody
Vikings.
steps into.
Like, was this the right bridge spot for Malik Willis?
Correct. That's what we're like. I'm happy for Malik Willis. I think it's great that he's getting paid. I don't know if this makes it so that Malik Willis is a long-time starter in the NFL, where there might have been situations where he could have been a long-time starter.
Yeah, like there are positives. Like A-Chain's obviously very good.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Waddle guy.
It's a rebuild.
Yes.
But also, I think we're all guys that have no confidence So it's like he goes there, he believes in himself.
Yeah, I would want
like
to
we
play
can't
on the
fathom.
loaded
That's
team.
so true.
Yeah, like it just shows into our psyche. Like, yeah, I'd rather throw to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I want to be a backup somewhere.
Yeah.
Third string.
But I think the deal is kind of interesting, right? It's 3 years, $67.5 million. It's $45 million guaranteed, and that sounds like a lot of money, but it's actually kind of a relatively light quarterback investment for what they hope he can be.
Yeah.
Because the sample size in Green Bay, like, the numbers are actually crazy. Like, where he ranks in the NFL in the limited plays that he had, he's like first, second, third, and like a lot of key categories. It's just like Dan's saying, when you go from a good environment to then a bad environment, it doesn't continue. But like they're trying to do the Sam Darnold thing, and they got it at a pretty damn good price.
Yeah, and
It
the
ends up
reason why
working
the
out.
price probably went down is that you had a lot of veteran quarterbacks getting cut that now can get signed for $1 million, like Tua for $1 million,
Yeah.
Malik Willis for $45 million. You know, Geno Smith or Kyler Murray. These guys are going to be all so cheap because they've flamed out on their big contracts. So again, good for Malik Willis. I don't think it changes the course of like the Dolphins' trajectory in any way. They're going to be a little bit better.
A little bit better.
But
So
I-
what does that mean?
but I just
third in the East is what it is.
I just feel
Yeah, I
like
guess
if I'm
that's
Malik
true.
Willis again, it's like you just were in an organization that knows how to like run an operation, and now
You're the
just going
opposite.
back to what you started your career with.
It's a lottery ticket. It's if
Yeah.
he does well, then maybe they can build around him. If he doesn't do well,
Yeah.
they have one more year of guaranteed money. They're going to get a high pick and what's supposed to
Oh,
be a
yeah,
loaded
no,
quarterback draft. So it's I think
I
it's
like
a
it from the Dolphins. I mean, you have to put someone out there. So
Yeah.
I have no problem with what the Dolphins are doing.
Now, the guy that just left Miami, Tua, immediately when he's leaving, everybody's saying Tua to Atlanta, ends up coming to pass, 1 year deal. The entire bill will be still footed by Miami. I don't know why this deal just strikes me as so funny. It just feels so sad to be a Falcons fan.
I feel bad
And
for
your
the
news
Falcons.
yesterday is Tua.
Well, they lost the Magic City night.
Yeah, that's the first
brutal.
Which somebody made a
Also,
great point.
have you reached out? They have a box of those hoodies.
I want one bad.
Let's get all 10,000.
I know. Atlanta actually has like some of the greatest never happened merch
Yes.
of all time.
Oh, they
Yes.
Oh,
They have
wow.
I think they were supposed to have the Final Four in the COVID
In 2020.
year.
It was a
they had the
2020 Final
All-Star
Four.
game that got canceled in 2021
Because of the
for-
bathroom stuff.
For the bathroom
Oh,
stuff.
my
And they have
goodness.
this.
Yes, Atlanta's the best that never was.
We need to find all the merch. Yeah, I just feel bad for Falcons fans. They signed Kirk Cousins for a bajillion dollars. Then they draft a guy who's torn his ACL a million times. Kirk Cousins is old. I actually think Kirk Cousins is probably the best of the three of them. But Kirk Cousins is old. Michael Penix gets hurt again. And then they're like, oh, let's just add Tua, who he's Tua. He's not good anymore.
When stuff like this happens, I like going to like their team's subreddits and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Just to see the copes. And the one thing they think is really cool is that Tua, Penix, Bijan, and Drake London are all lefties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was honestly, I was
Southpaws.
thinking about it when it happened. I was like, what's the positive here? It's like, I guess you all can plan for the lefty no matter what. Because the ball does rotate differently.
Yeah, opposite
So the receivers
direction.
will be comfortable.
You think Stefanski's just like, I think I'm a pretty good coach. If I can just hold on long enough, like eventually I'll get a quarterback.
I just don't know
I
what
just got to make it with these guys.
The Falcons, I mean, this one, it obviously is not the same as drafting Penix after the Kirk Cousins, which in hindsight, but also in real time was like, what are you guys doing? This one is really kind of nothing because it's like, hey, you're bringing Tua for $1 million, give some competition, it's fine. But man, I can't believe they're in this spot. Like the Penix Kirk Cousins thing still makes no sense.
What's this mean for your guy Pitts?
Kyle Pitts, all you got to do is get 6 touchdowns.
Pitts
you
is
get
gonna
6
go off
touchdowns, the stock keeps going up exactly how we like.
All right, Texas A&M head coach Bucky McMillan coming up next here on Wake Up Barstool to kick off hour 2. We'll also have Eric Musselman coming by. If you want to get your questions in on Twitter, #AskWub. We'll get to him at the end of the show. More Wake Up Barstool on the other side. What's happening, y'all? Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. Right now, it's our pleasure to talk to Texas A&M head basketball coach Bucky McMillan. Coach, what's going on, man? How we doing today? Crazy time of year, obviously. Thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here, man. Wish I was hanging out with you guys up in Chicago.
Hey, so I want to ask you about your story a bit, man. It's pretty interesting from what I've read, but an incredibly successful high school coach, go to Sanford, not the biggest sample size, but did very well there, and then all of a sudden you were handed the keys to this, this massive organization there in College Station at Texas A&M, and y'all have had a ton of success in year number one. What was it like for you taking on a project that I guess is so much bigger, had so many more pieces in play than maybe what you had done up to that point?
Yeah, it's been fun. I know that. I mean, there's a lot of people out here that love the Aggies and they love winning. And, we had a totally new roster configuration. We lost every player off of last year's team here at Texas A&M, had to build it from scratch really late in the portal. A lot of people kind of wrote us off as a kind of a rebuilding year. And we had a bunch of guys come together in a recruiting class late May. And I just kind of made it happen here through SEC play, found our way to 11 wins, and looking to do some damage going forward in March Madness.
Coach, terrific season, completely went above and beyond your expectations, so much so that you had a graphic by the social team posted on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but I gotta ask. Were you aware of it when it? Please don't tell me you said, "Go ahead, that looks good."
I hadn't even seen it, so I don't know what you're talking about. You guys show it.
Okay, it says projected 13th in SEC preseason poll, and then said tied fourth. You can't do that.
Yes, come on, Coach. That's impressive, dude. Look at that. That's impressive.
It has been a great season, but I mean, you got to know how social media works. That's going to get dunked on every single time.
Hey, the only thing that matters is we're in the top. We finished in the top 4 of the SEC, and guess what? The NCAA tournament committee, as long as they see that,
Yeah, man.
all we gotta know.
Time
With a scowl on the face.
It's so funny. I guess if you could make the argument.
I did not see that one though. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that.
I'm happy we brought it to your attention. I guess you could make the argument the social media team is doing their job and getting the most clicks because it got a lot of clicks.
Yeah, it went viral.
It went viral, so they did a good job. So you are getting ready for the SEC tournament. What, from a coaching perspective, and you did this at Sanford, getting into the NCAA tournament, like, what is that back-to-back now that you got to switch modes to be like, hey, we're going to be playing 3-4 games in a row? How much of that is like the feel of your team, or how much of it is, hey, we gotta be dialed in and try to change things, change looks day to day to keep people on their toes, opponents on their toes?
Yeah, that's a good question. The way we play pretty fast. We press the whole game, miss shots, get up and down, shoot a lot of threes. Like, I think the most important thing this time of year is just know who you are and roll with it. Because I think, when you just try to, you start changing players this time of year, they need to be very confident. When you start changing what you do too often, if it's not what you do, then players aren't confident. I know that the way that we play, I think it's a little bit different. And I think if we get to the NCAA tournament, if you can get by the first game, you're on a quick turnaround, and it's harder to play against a team that does something a little bit different. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but we'll just probably stay with what we do, let it ride and live and see what happens.
Yeah. What's been the biggest difference, if any, bringing that fast style of play over to the SEC?
Yeah, when you miss more shots and they go the other way, they get more dunks. We've been dunked on a few times this year, but we've had a fair share of our own.
Yeah.
But, it's a fun way to play, fun way to win. And I think this time of year, like I said, that, a lot of times the most aggressive team wins. And, we want to be an aggressive team. And if you don't come out on the right side of that, like, you can live with that. You know what I mean? Instead of always trying to be a counter puncher. And so we want to roll that way. And I think that gives our team confidence.
How important to you is the conference tournament? Because this is your, you were playing at Sanford. That conference tournament is your ticket into the NCAA tournament. This year, Texas A&M should be in. So is there a different approach where it's like, this isn't, our lives aren't on the line, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We want to do well, but it definitely has to feel a little different than when you're a smaller school being like, the only way we're in is if we win this whole thing.
Man, I feel so. feel it for these coaches still at mid-major playing these conference tournaments. I've been through that.
Yeah.
And no joke. I mean, we've had a team one year that was a 29-win team going to the conference tournament, and, you're sweating bullets because you just don't know, can you get through 3 games? I've always thought mid-major basketball, they literally should take the winner of the regular season because that's the biggest sample size.
Right.
And it wouldn't make March Madness as good just in terms of just that feel of the conference tournament. But I'm telling you, it is a nightmare for those mid-major programs to have a great regular season. This is a little bit different, obviously, because our NCAA tournament started here. I felt the past 2-3 weeks. Like I felt what I felt in the conference tournament coaching mid-major the past 2-3 weeks. Where it's like, man, we got to win X number of these next games to get in this tournament, and we felt it. And we dang sure it came down to the wire with us. I felt that we really just to seal the deal. I felt we really needed to play well in our last couple of games and come away with some wins, and we made that happen.
Yeah, the 3 overtime game against LSU. I think you said afterward, if it had gone to 4, you would have just been done. Like retire or die? What were you talking about?
I think one of my players would have died because they're supposed to foul at half court, not let him shoot a 3, and somehow we forgot to do it. So I would have been arrested. My player, I don't know if he would have lived to get to the locker room.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the past few weeks feeling like you're in tournament mode right now, Coach, because look, in the SEC especially, there's been a lot of bubble talk, a lot of teams existing in that kind of mode. How do you decipher teams like Auburn, Texas, and really just bubble teams in general in these other leagues?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I do know analytically the SEC is the number 1 ranked league in the country. It's a gauntlet to get through our league. I know it's not as top heavy as last year, but I do know if you perform well in our league, you've got to 500 and you've had a reasonable non-conference, you're going to give yourself a great chance. I can't speak for every team. I do think that the NCAA tournament committee, obviously, they're going to take in non-league. How much are they going to take in? How you've been playing lately? I don't, that could affect some of those teams that you just mentioned. Some aren't playing as well as others. Also, I think that they do have the eye test to it as well. And I think that some of these teams that they'll look at, that these people know basketball. Like I do know some of the ones that are on the committee, they know the game and they realize that what teams can win in the tournament. Going back to us, like I know some things that helped us was that in SEC league play, we had the 3rd rated defense and we were a top 10 scoring team in the country. So both sides of the ball kind of checked the boxes. And they have analytics like that they can look to and see how are they defensively, how are they on the road, and how will that translate. And when it gets down to it, this team or another team, it may be one measure like that decides, hey, this team's going to have a better chance of getting it done and then say tournament than another team.
I got a dumb question. The net rankings drive me nuts. I hate how the quad system works. And if you beat a team by too much, they drop a quad. So it's like if you beat a team by 20, they could drop and make the win less valuable for you than beating them by like 5. Is there ever a time where you're in that situation where like, I got to call off the dogs these last 2 minutes because we don't want to beat them so bad that they drop to a quad 3 win or something?
Hey, listen, this is so funny you bring this up. So we're playing LSU, and they're right on the cusp with the 75 net.
Yes.
It literally won it when we just played them. And so we end up winning the game. They dropped to like 76, so it made our home game versus them drop to a quad 3, and that was a quad 1 dropped to a quad 2.
Yes.
And now this is a total joke because they are a handful. Let me just tell you that. But I was like, I thought it was played perfect all the way into triple overtime. Drop out of the middle. But I come out, they dropped out. They had some injuries along the way that affected their deal. But you're pulling for other teams. Like, who would have thought that I would have been pulling for Texas in the Texas-Oklahoma game, being a Texas A&M guy?
Yeah.
Because in that game, we needed that to say quad 1A win when we beat them at their place.
Yeah. It's crazy. The whole system is crazy. I'm a Wisconsin Badger alum, and so we beat Iowa by like 15 a month ago, and because if we had beaten them by like 4, it would have been like a quad 1A win. It's like it shouldn't work that way because you beat a good team by a lot. I mean, that just shouldn't hurt you. It's the whole system's a little messy.
So kind of in keeping with this conversation, then, Coach, like, how much do you put into seeding? Like, right, like I know there's a lot of talk, like is an 8-9 worse than maybe being a 10-11, something like that? Like, is that something that you think about, or is it more of just a classic coach speak, like, no, whoever's in front of us, that's who we're playing?
Oh, trust me, we've had conversations about it in our office, where you like to line. Like, I mean, we know that there's certain teams that are better matchups than others. We know that, and there's certain routes to get to the second weekend that could be better than others, and that can change year by year. Some years it doesn't matter. Some years you look at it, it's like all the top 12 teams in the country are right there with each other. Then some years there's a separator. But if your goal is to get that second weekend where anything can happen, sometimes I'd be lying if coaches behind the scenes weren't talking about it.
See, but that's why tied fourth matters. You're worrying about that.
Tied fourth.
You're not winning oxygen about bubble talk.
Tied fourth.
Yes, that's why it matters.
Yeah.
Coach, man, I can't thank you enough. This has been super fun. Congrats on all the success here in year number one.
Well, I mean, it's tied fourth.
Congrats on tied fourth. In, as Coach said, analytically the best conference in all of college basketball.
Yes.
Coach Bucky McMillan, thank you, Coach. Have a kick-ass time in Nashville. Have a great tournament, man.
All right, boys. Gig 'em.
Thank you.
Sir, Coach Bucky McMillan. I love that accent.
Tied fourth.
Birmingham.
I love
What
it.
a good
Southern
coach
drawl,
name.
dude.
I'm starting to turn around on
Bucky Ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
That's what they call his style.
Listen, I love Greg Gard. I never wanted him to retire, but if you could get a coach named Bucky in Madison.
Yeah.
Being at Sanford, do you think they ever tried to trick international students to coming there?
To Stanford?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's smart.
That should be a recruiting tactic.
It should.
All right.
Hartford?
Oh, boys, it's y'all's turn next.
There's got to be a few Northwesterns.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament draft. Every day of Wubs going head-to-head. You're going to draft teams into tiers. I'll explain on the other side, but this is y'all's crew.
We'll take Duke.
So get together. Oh, well, actually, they're on the board.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to win it all.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Okay, guys, so here's the deal. Every single day, since we have so many iterations of the show, I'm not involved. This is y'all's team. We are drafting NCAA tournament teams, and we have devised a scoring system to which every show will compete with one another. There are 4 different tiers for the teams. This is the scoring system here. The team you select, if you get the first round win, you get 1 point, second round 2, so on and so forth.
Who drafted already?
Monday. So Dave, Bosco.
Wait, so
me,
Dave just
Liam.
took Bosco from us? Is that what has happened? We've had we had to listen to Bosco talk about nothing schools in November, and then Dave just took them from us.
It was some.
It's
sort
ridiculous.
He was a cornerstone of Tuesday.
He was a Tuesday cornerstone.
It was. I kind of blame Fanta. Because it happened organically because they wanted to get Fanta and Bosco on at the same time.
Just remember all the
that
riders
happened on
out there
Monday.
who gave Bosco the shot when it's not March. That's a big. Everyone can ask Bosco to come on in March.
It's true.
We had him on in November wearing God knows what, jumpsuit. So we should have had Bosco.
And they made him draft St. John's.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they have him on to torture him.
Yeah, so here's tier 1. So you got tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. They drafted Michigan, Houston, St. John's, and BYU. Dan, there it is, your big D.
No,
Up for
Caleb
grabs.
Foster's out. That's a problem. I would like to personally make the plea because I'm just kind of all in. Just keep going all in, Florida. I have Florida 19-1. I win $500,000 if Florida wins the national title.
And you'll have to be consensus here.
Yeah, but I would like to make that plea. The other one I would consider would be Arizona, just as Florida hedge, if you like Arizona.
So you're saying the 3 of us could strong arm him to take Duke?
If you want to.
I mean, is it a true democracy?
I'm fine with either Arizona or Florida.
What do you guys like?
I like Arizona.
Okay.
Every team Nicky Smokes barely cares about wins titles, and he barely cares about this team, who has a 7-9 guy. So.
All right, T-Bob, break this tie.
I'm not on the team. I'm not allowed to.
Just break the tie,
Okay,
dude.
Florida Gators.
All right, Florida.
I don't know. I panicked, Nicky. I panicked. Okay.
I do think Florida's.
they're humming.
Actually talking about it, like Florida has started to hit threes. Their front court is so good. I love this team.
Tier 2. Here you go, guys.
Tough tier 2.
We're not taking Kansas.
That's the only one I like.
I can't do it.
We can also.
I can't do
we
it.
just also take Houston.
That's the only
They
one I
took
like.
Bosco from us. We'll take Houston from them.
No, can't do it.
Yeah, there's a flaw in this system that they got the first pick on every tier.
Trust me,
Yeah,
Kadick,
Dave Portnoy getting special treatment. What is this? The dozen?
me, Kadick, and Dana Beers that's gonna be the Friday crew. We're just getting.
Oh, man.
we're getting
Yeah,
the
the
slop.
runoff.
I'm out on Iowa State. I think the only
Illinois?
No, I was gonna say
State?
Michigan State. Just Izzo having a run.
Yeah, okay.
Izzo having an Izzo run. They have everything that an Izzo team you want in an Izzo team. They can't shoot. They play defense. They got a guy who's just kicking people in the balls, and they rebound the heck out of it.
Okay, I'm good with that.
All right,
We go with Michigan State?
Michigan State.
All right, Michigan State's the official pick at tier 2. Now to tier 3. Ooh, this is kind of a sexy tier here.
I like Arkansas or Alabama as a Bosco troll.
Let's root for Purdue.
No,
yes.
Purdue is
Imagine
so bad.
rooting for Purdue.
Yes,
Purdue is so
Come
bad.
on.
Are we trying to win? What are the stakes for this? Is anything up for grabs?
We're working on that. We're working
If it's
on that.
real stakes, I'm not rooting for Purdue.
That's pretty good value.
It's
Purdue?
That's good value.
They stink. You guys haven't watched Purdue. They're
Dan,
so
that
bad.
Wisconsin-Purdue game was awesome on Saturday, dude.
And they lost. They lost
Yeah.
5 games at Mackey this year. They're not good. The vibes are off. That team is bad.
That was a fun game, though, Saturday.
Like, I think if you want to go actual, ceiling here, it's Arkansas or maybe even Gonzaga.
I was gonna say.
All right, I'll vote for Purdue.
God, you're the worst.
I'll take.
Jay, you haven't weighed in here yet. Where do we go?
Acuff
Darius
is
Acuff,
electric.
yeah, he's awesome. He's
Okay.
one of the
Who?
best. Darius
Acuff.
Acuff.
Okay, all right. So you like Arkansas?
Yeah, of this group, yeah.
Can we
So
do
you're
Arkansas?
like Arkansas? All right, fine. Arkansas.
Dude,
I mean, that's
Purdue's so bad. I don't think I
Come on, it would be so fun. This is for nothing.
But it could be for something. Like Dave.
No, Nick, it's
Hold
for
on,
something. We
hold
just have
on.
to figure
Let's
it out.
play this out. If Dave looks at it and he sees that he has the best teams, he's gonna be like, "Oh, well,
That's
it's
for
for
$1 million.
money," and then I have to pay my side. So I'm not doing
But
Purdue.
imagine your one March as a Purdue fan.
No, I
could
don't
talk
want
about
to.
that for years.
No, I don't want to taint
Dude.
Duke and Purdue are fun to root against.
I'm going Purdue. I might be going Purdue Friday.
UNC though is also in trouble. Texas Tech's in trouble.
Yeah.
So we'll
The
go. We're
take-up.
gonna go Arkansas.
Okay, Arkansas tier 3. Tier 4, guys, you can choose anybody who hasn't been up there yet. So the best of the rest, you can choose anybody. If they would miss the tournament, which doesn't feel very realistic, you get -5. BYU got selected. I'm sorry, Provo Dave is back, but
I have a pick.
Any of these?
Yeah, you guys can tell me what you want, but I have a pick. I have 2 picks.
you going to Madison?
No.
Really?
No, I mean I'm not gonna make the.
Wait, it's negative points if they don't make the tournament?
If they don't make the tournament, it's negative points. But I mean, the teams on this list, you could pick a tournament team.
Yeah.
Hofstra?
No.
Jay, big Hofstra guy, saw your
picks
tweet,
would
dude.
be. Do you get extra odds if the odds are crazier?
yeah, is
do you
there-
get
is it
a
swayed?
bonus?
No,
I think Ohio
it's just
State
the
can get
baseline scoring. So you want to pick a team out of this that you think is going to go farthest that hasn't been in any of the top tiers yet.
Oh, then this is kind of a silly, not well thought out because then we already have Nebraska in one of the tiers.
Yeah. So they're not available to pick here.
All right, but
they're
you
not
can
available.
flash
So
Got it.
any team that's not in a tier.
All right, so I think.
Did I explain this? This is my
Yeah,
fault.
I think the 2 teams that I like that could, I think, make a little bit of a run are UCLA and Iowa. Those would be my 2 teams.
I love Bennett Sturts, and he's fun to root for, so I do like that.
Iowa does, they slow it down, they grind you out. The problem with Iowa is they will be on the 8-9 line, probably.
Yeah.
So it's, gonna be tough for them to get to the second round or second weekend. So it's those 2. So you guys tell me
We
what
hate
you.
A&M. I kind of like Bucky.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, you know what?
He was a nice
Let's go
guy.
Bucky
Full
ball.
aggression, right? What'd he say? He was like, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging.
Time for 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, time
Yeah,
for
yeah. All right, yeah, good call. Let's
Until
go
I
Texas
saw
A&M.
that stat.
Then I'm good with UCLA
right.
or Iowa.
Yeah, let's go Texas A&M.
All right, Texas A&M. So there it is. The Tuesday picks are in the books. Y'all went Florida. Who was tier 2?
Michigan State.
Florida, Michigan State, Arkansas,
Actually like our
and
picks.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Tuesday crew set. We'll keep track of the tournament and update the leaderboard as it continues to develop. All right, coming up next, guys.
No, I have no Purdue regret.
You'll see. Oh, you'll see.
Yes.
The only
Probably not.
Imagine to be a Boilermaker for a week.
no. Ugh.
Boilermakers ready to play Spoilermakers. I wonder if I can get Kadick to do it on Friday. All right, coming up next, USC head coach Eric Musselman in studio. Don't go anywhere. More Web. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool on FS1. Right now, it is our pleasure to be joined by one of the best, most energetic, fiery personalities we got in all of college basketball. That's USC head coach Eric Musselman. He's been making the rounds here at Barstool Chicago. Coach Mus, what's up, man? How we doing today?
Appreciate you guys having me.
So y'all, I don't want to get into the Big Ten tournament and everything else, but y'all were just talking a little bit off air. Dan, you've been on the Must Bus for some time.
Must Bus for a long time, so I know I'm friends with one of Muss's top assistants. I would say the top assistant, Anthony Ruda, and I became a fan of Nevada basketball and Coach Muss back in like 2017-18 because of the style they played, and Listen, I like to gamble. I would stay up late. I was living in New York at the time. I'd be up at like 1 a.m, empty, everyone was asleep in my house. It was just me and the Must Bus watching you guys fill it up. So that was, and then Arkansas and now USC. Now you are in a conference rival now with the Badgers, but it's fun watching his style of basketball, and especially when you get to a tournament setting, what Coach Muss does is he elevates his team. And you've seen it like in with Nevada runs and Arkansas runs, and that's why I love watching you coach. So
appreciate that.
Yeah.
See if we can make a run here in Chicago.
Yeah. So great. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. If the season hasn't gone the way you want it to go, it's kind of down the stretch, leaking a little oil. What's the message to the guys going into the tournament, being like, hey, you're still alive, you still got a chance.
Everybody's 0-0.
Yeah.
And so the conference tournaments are a little bit more unique than obviously the NCAA tournament. NCAA tournament, you're playing against teams you have no familiarity with. But here we're playing Washington tomorrow at 1:30, and we played them twice, and then the winner gets to play Wisconsin.
Yeah, you beat us in Madison.
So the conference tournaments take on a life of their own. You got to have confidence. Right now, that's one of the things that we have not played well the last 7 games. So from a confidence standpoint, we got to see some shots fall early. We have to get some defensive stops, and momentum is a real thing in college basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and your conference record, coach, for your career is like pretty spectacular. Whether it's the NCAA tournament, conference tournaments, what are the keys that you've identified to do what Dan was talking about, like elevating your guys and getting them to lock in when the stakes are the highest?
I think the conference tournament, again, is so much, like in the NCAA tournament with the amount of pressure, we've tried to do things like outside the box, like take our guys to Niagara Falls and spend 2 hours outside.
Yeah.
And when we played in San Francisco, we went and got on the field where the Giants play. And so we try to alleviate a lot of the pressure and try to turn it into kind of a fun thing where a lot of teams will kind of lock up in a hotel. But the conference tournament's a little bit different, again, just because we know the other team so well. You got to try to figure out, are you going to hit the floor? Are you going to just do ballroom stuff in the hotel? And it's going to be more of a mental day. And that all depend on what time your game is the prior night in conference tournaments, because they come one after another. And in the NCAA tournament, you're going to have 48 hours on those weekends. You play Thursday, Saturday, or you play Friday, Sunday. So your preparation is a little bit different, whether it's a conference tournament as opposed to an NCAA tournament.
So y'all hit the floor here yesterday, right?
Of course. We had a great practice here at Barstool.
So I was going to say, is that kind of that's kind of like both a little bit? Like you're getting into that conference tournament prep, but also having a little fun. Look at that, dude.
I mean, how did you guys shoot last night? The 3-point line's a little short here.
Big Cat, we were really, really good in this environment.
Yes.
If there was any way we could play Washington right
with
here,
high school lines,
we'd be good to go.
Yeah. There you go.
It is funny, Dan, to hear you talk about, it is still new. USC, a Big Ten rival.
I know.
Coach, you've been all over the country, coaching all the best leagues. What has that been like? I mean, what is that travel like, dealing with it? Because so many of these decisions seem to be made with football in mind, where, okay, maybe it's once a week, but y'all are all over the place, dude.
Yeah, so, I think that for men's and women's basketball, it's a little bit unique in some of the other sports. For football, it's great. It's the name brands in the Big Ten, and you add USC, and so it's really, really good. I think the travel, we're still adjusting. We're trying to figure out whether it's Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA. But it can be done. Look at what UCLA women have done this year, what USC women did last year. Like both those programs dominated with the travel. So the key, you got to have great talent.
Yeah, right.
And then the travel becomes a little bit, less than what you would think.
Yeah. You said ballroom practice. I know that's a big thing, whether a walkthrough of football. Is that just the worst, just to have everyone in a ballroom?
Not really. Some of the guys love it. They're like, hey, we don't have to go out on the floor.
Yeah. Easy on your knees. Yeah.
But no, so many guys learn differently. You know what I mean? Some guys, you got to see it on film. Some guys, you got to see it on the floor. Mm-hmm. And then you hope when you're playing back-to-back, the guys can see it in the ballroom, even though it's a condensed environment. But it's amazing how much college student athletes can pick up from a preparation standpoint in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Did Ruda tell you that I leaned on him for some help on coaching our 0-6 basketball team?
I did hear that.
It was bad. And I actually will blame myself because I had a strategy. So that you tell me, here at Barstool, we had an intramural basketball team. We were 0-5. I took over as coach. This team that I took over, we had the worst conditioning I've ever seen of any team that's ever been on a basketball court. Okay. We also had the worst shooting of any team that I've ever seen on a basketball court. We did have two guys that were generally bigger than the other teams. So I said, we are not taking a single three. We're going to go slow, low. There's no shot clocks. We're going to low possession, and we're just going to feed it in the post. And we were there. We were up with 9 seconds left, and we just faltered at the end. But I don't know if that was the wrong strategy or not. I know you like pace. Like, do you adjust, like, especially like as the season goes along?
Yeah, I think with what you just described, you probably did the right thing.
Yeah.
The question, did you guys get to the foul line?
This is the end.
Could you draw fouls? Would be a big key.
Yes. Yes.
And that'll shorten the game a little bit as well. Then your slower guys, your non-conditioned athletes, can get back in transition defense if it's off a foul shot, right?
Yes. But, watch this. Pull back the clip. So my big guy, really, this is the last second. So we're up 1 with 9 seconds left.
Did you call a timeout?
I think we didn't have a timeout left. Look at my big guy all the way on the right. He just left the entire.
Where was he going?
All we needed was a rebound, and he just decided to stop playing.
He was leaking out.
It was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Coach, what are you saying to him if that's your big man right there?
I'm asking him what's going through your mind. Like where are you going? We need one stop, one defensive rebound, and you're cherry picking with no time left on the clock.
And he also had started the meltdown. Was he had a block? He had a block earlier, like maybe with 2 minutes left, and he showboated the block. The ball was in play, and then they scored off of it. He could have just. So it was just a disaster. I'm just trying to get better as a coach.
We all are. I'm trying to get better. I was actually going to ask you a couple questions on what we should do leading up to the Washington game.
I'll tell you, I think your guys are probably in better shape than my guys, but I do think that it helped when I sat in a chair while they ran suicides, and I just called them fat for like 30 minutes. So I don't know. It did work a little bit. Like the guys responded. I also did this thing. I don't know if you've ever done this. But on the day of the game, we had, how many guys on the team? 7, 8 that were playing?
8.
On the day of the game, I went up to every single one of them separately, privately, and I said, hey, listen, I just want you to know you're the most important piece for us to win tonight. But I said it to all of them.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
The key is when you're not with them, are they in that locker room, ask, hey,
they found out.
Coach Big Cat told, when they find out.
I reversed it. I said, hey, I told all of you that, but I meant it. I really meant it. And they were like, okay, that didn't really work. So, but it is, you just juice them up, Go ahead, Steven.
Coach, you're a coaching lifer, really. You have one of the more unique experiences ever with you. Coach Gilbert Arenas with the Warriors, and now you have his son in college, Elijah Arenas. What is that experience like? And then do you see a lot of similarities in their games?
Yeah, great question. A lot of similarities in the fact that both guys can create offense when plays break down, which is, the sign of a great player from an offensive standpoint, like offensive creativity. But Elijah's, longer than Gilbert. But both those guys, like from an offensive standpoint, super, super special. Elijah's got unbelievable potential. He's still growing, still learning, because of his injury. He missed all of the summer, so he missed 8 weeks of the summer. He missed all of non-conference play, and then he gets thrown into conference play, and add in the fact that he reclassified up. So he actually, should be a high school senior. So he's learning a whole bunch of stuff as we're trying to grow as a team as well. But there are a lot of similarities, mannerisms, things like that, and super interesting that we'll have 2 twins coming in, that I also coached their father. So we have 2 7-footers in the Ratliff twins, and I was an assistant coach with the Atlanta Hawks when Theo played.
Wow.
So the good thing is that, we got some former players that are sending their sons. The bad thing is I'm getting old.
Yeah. You're a twins guy, too. Love the twins, right?
This is
the
third set of twins. We had the Mitchell twins at Arkansas. We got the Ratliff twins coming, and obviously, the twins that I owe a lot of money to.
Yeah.
Which is Caleb and Cody, because without Caleb and Cody, I don't have the college career that I've had, meaning getting the Arkansas job, and those guys just unbelievable. Think of this, 17 straight weeks being in the top 10 when you're at Nevada. And it's all because of Cody, Caleb, and we had a couple other good players.
I think you just might be the twins guy. Like, this would be great, like a Moneyball type book. Like, how did he do it? He just found twins.
I know.
The loophole.
Yeah.
You get 2 of them.
I think Eddie was talking about this. There's a good recruiting story behind the twins that you were talking about there. What is it?
Well, it's super interesting. So Caleb everybody wanted Caleb in the country. And some teams recruited Cody, but not quite as heavily. And someone in the inner circle said, you got to go after Cody. Don't worry about Caleb. He's good, And so we recruited the one that maybe at the time, although Cody was the one that got drafted, Caleb didn't get drafted. But they loved fishing. And so, hey, let's take him to Lake Tahoe and go fishing. And we're out there. I don't know anything about fishing. And we're out there for like an hour and a half. And the Martin twins had told me they were really good fishermen, right? And so nobody's catching anything. And so I look down, and there's like this glass thing in the boat. And I go to the guy, hey, what's the glass thing? And we can see where the school of fish are. And I'm like, well, there's no fish. Can you go find a spot in the lake? So guy takes it over to a different spot, and everybody starts catching fish. I'm like, why have we spent an hour and a half? I told you we're trying to close these 2 days.
Yeah, so you're stressing out the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, dude, trying to make
Finally, they caught a couple fish, and then we got the commitment.
There we go.
That's perfect.
So we just talked to A&M head coach Bucky McMillan, and he gave us some interesting insight into what it's like being like one of these mid-major coaches where maybe you've dominated regular season, but the conference tournament is just everything. What's kind of it like being one of these bubble coaches right now? What is that firsthand experience like?
Well, I think if you're a bubble team at a Power 5 school, there's a reason you're on the bubble. And so we were on the bubble for like 3 weeks, and it's like you're there because you're playing kind of 500 basketball in conference.
Yeah.
And so teams are losing and then, might win a big game, and you're kind of still alive always at that Power 5 level. And if you're at a, maybe a Mountain West school or like last night, Santa Clara is playing.
Yeah, huge win.
Like the pressure is so immense. Mm-hmm. Like you cannot lose a game, number one, during the regular season that you're not supposed to. That's pressure in itself. But then, Santa Clara is playing a great St. Mary's team. And, they lose that game, and who knows what their NCAA Selection Sunday looks like. But you win a game like that, and now you're in. So for 40 minutes, that pressure last night on Coach Sendek and his group was probably at a high level.
Yeah, he was saying he wishes it was just the regular season gets the automatic bid. Do you think it should switch to that or no?
I'm kind of torn because it's like I've been on both sides at Nevada where we won the regular season, and you still know you got to go to the comp. But there's something about this time of year that everybody wants to watch these conference tournaments. So and it gives everybody hope and it gives everybody life. And so for us, in my opinion, I think the conference tournaments are awesome.
I think I think the solution is you make the conference tournament a way that would more often than not get your best team in, whether it be like Gonzaga and St. Mary's last night.
It's like with the Sun Belt.
They have buys to the semifinal. Everyone's talking about Gonzaga, and yes, it is impressive, the 29 straight conference tournament finals. That's great. They only had to win one game every single time. So it's like you can do things. That's why I feel bad for this entire conversation about Miami of Ohio, who I think should be in no matter what. But the way the MAC does it is it's just a straight 8 teams. And it doesn't give the best.
Oh, they don't even get a single buy.
No buys. So it's like, I think that's the solution. If you're a one bid league, make it so that more often than not your one bid team is your regular season.
Reward them.
Right.
For the regular season.
Give them a buy all the way to the finals.
Yep.
I don't know, but you can't do away with conference tournaments altogether. I think that's such a special thing, and I think it's also special to know that your season's never over. Like you still have a chance.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
still
like
can make
you
a
right
run.
now, Coach. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like
We want to play.
yeah,
Right.
hell yeah, dude.
Right.
Give us an opportunity. See what happens.
Yes.
All right, guys. So coming up next, Coach Musselman's going to stay here in studio. So if you want to get any questions in for Coach, #AskWub on Twitter. #AskWub. We'll get to him next. We got plenty more to talk to as well. More Wake Up Barstool on the other side. What's happening, y'all? Another segment here to close out the show with USC head coach Eric Musselman. Must bus. Coach, we were kind of just discussing it, but again, you've had a coaching lifer, been all over the country, so you've seen the game, all of its changes firsthand. This current era that we're in, there's always a lot of, opinions are all over the place. What's kind of your interpretation of where we're at, and then how do you manage it to try to find success where everything is so transient and kind of all over the place?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of like in our sport, like NBA, pro with changing rosters.
Yeah.
So chemistry becomes super important. Then you add in the name, image, and likeness, and now it becomes even more pro-centric. Like in the G League, everybody's making, pretty much the same. I mean, when I was in the G League, it was A, B, and C contracts, but it was $25,000, $30,000, $40,000. So everybody's pretty equal. And like in that league, everyone's trying to move up. In college right now, regardless of where you're playing, there's the money factor. There's players maybe at lower levels looking to produce, put up numbers so that they can move up to a higher level. The portal's not open right now until right after the Final Four, but yet players are
Allegedly.
players are putting their names out there to media.
Yeah.
Going in the portal. So it's a changing landscape that you constantly have to evolve in, and then you've got to look back and say, what did I do well? What do I have to do better at? Where did I make a mistake? How can I not make that same? So all these things, because we truly are learning from hey, we're in a new conference for us, and so is Stanford. They're in the ACC now, and so is Cal. So there's all these evolving things that are going on. You got to just try to figure it out the best you can.
How is this too forward of a question? Like, how much does a starter cost? Like a power four, like just a solid player?
Yeah, I think it varies. Conference varies per program, and it varies like the level, you know what I mean, on what that is. And so last year was like it was kind of like an open free market.
It's too new. It hadn't really
right.
Yeah, you didn't have your best practices.
And so now with rev share, the rev share is football is going to get a big bulk, and then men's basketball is going to get some, women's basketball is going to get some, and then depending on what school you're at, there's a lot of SEC schools where baseball draws heavily.
Yeah, LSU,
So the athletic director's got to decide, like, how much am I going to give baseball? And so every school is going to be a little bit different. Big East, obviously, would have a higher rev share that you would think than others in basketball. So it'll be interesting where this landscape falls with rev share.
You could have just hit him with if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Just hit him with that.
A beer fan.
How different is it coaching in a major city, like coming from a bunch of college towns?
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
I'll just use, I never missed a sporting event at Arkansas. If women's softball played, I was there. If women's basketball played, I was there. I never missed a football game, home or away.
Damn.
You know, I went to basically at Arkansas, I could go to the airport and just wait for one of the donors to take a private plane to an SEC football game. And there was days where I did that. I just went out there and it's like, oh,
No way.
oh, there's the Hunt family. Let me go jump on their plane. But in a bigger city, it's way different, you know, because if my daughter has dance competition, you know, in the morning and there's a football game at 6, I don't know if I can drive in LA to watch that and get back. And, you know, at Nevada and at Arkansas, like, I mean, I knew every coach's wife. I knew their kids. My wife knew every wife, you know, because you're living in more of the same general area.
Smaller,
You're going to every
minutes, no
event.
traffic,
You know, a lot of the coaches that I've worked with at other schools, like I'm super, super tight with them. I've only been at USC now for almost 2 years. And so over time, you know, but it is different coaching in a major metropolitan city too.
That's a great question, Eddie. I never considered that.
Yeah.
We've seen it, Coach. We've seen it in the NBA, and we're kind of seeing it bleed over into college basketball with like load management. And there are projected top picks that are pulling themselves out of games. How would you handle that if that's one of your star players who's trying to potentially protect their health and draft stock?
You know, like when I was in the NBA as an assistant coach, even with my dad, you know, players were playing 82 games. And, you know, they were playing. And we were practicing. You know, today's NBA, there's a lot of organizations that don't practice that much. So everything's changing, evolving. But I think if you want to play at the next level, most of the players need to play. They need the reps. So hopefully load management doesn't work its way into our program because the guys really do. You look at first-round draft picks, a lot of first-round draft picks get sent to the G League. And they're first-rounders. And it's really, why would you get sent down there? It's for reps. And game reps, you try to simulate stuff in practice, but players need game reps. So in a 30-game season, if you manage your practices properly, you know, you shouldn't need load management in the game, in my opinion. Look at their age of the guys. Like, I get an NBA player needing load management if you're playing 3 games in 4 nights or 3 games in 5 nights with the travel, and it's an older, aging veteran. I get that, but we don't have, well, I guess some teams you do starting to have older, aging vets in college now.
No, I agree, man. You're young. Get your ass out there.
I got a question. This is a dumb rule of mine. I think we got to ban fouling up 3 with like 10 seconds left in the game. And I understand why you do it, and I understand that it makes sense, but I think it's robbed us of some like great moments because it becomes a free throw fest with 10 seconds left.
Yep.
Are you okay to maybe spearhead that with me?
I'm with you. You can ban it right now, Big Cat.
Okay.
We wouldn't do it unless it was under 7.
Right.
So 8, 9, 10, we wouldn't do it. But it's an interesting thought because there's a whole, like, you know, a fan is just, let's automatically foul.
Right.
And then, but you got to think, like, who's the rebounders on the other team?
Yep.
Right?
And then who are we having taking the free throws on the other side?
There's a whole bunch of factors because I was part of a game where Pau Gasol did not block out, and Kenyon Martin got an O board, and so you know, and Jerry West was the GM. That was a pretty unique locker room after the game when the GM came in and had some choice words for our non-blockout on a late game situation.
Man, West's probably crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Ask Wub real quick. Hashtag Ask Wub. Do you wish you had another year with Bronny James to develop him into the star that he was projected to be? Asked Andrew.
That probably would have helped, but I wasn't there.
I was going to say that.
I didn't get a chance to coach him.
That doesn't line up.
But if he, hey, you never know.
I guess, yeah, he could have stayed, but you never coached him before that.
If he would have stayed, that would have helped us.
Cheah, you had something you wanted to ask.
Yeah, dovetailing off of that fouling up 3, I have this theory, and I'm hoping it gets adopted in the future. Let me know what you think about it.
Oh, this is the worst.
If a team is up by 2 and on defense with 15 seconds or less, between 10 and 15 seconds left, I think they should foul the other team intentionally, give up 2 free throws, because you eliminate the chance of losing the game and you have the ball last. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not so sure about that.
the other team can go for 3 and you're in trouble.
That would be true. But I don't think what the general fan understands is how much stuff can happen like within a 15-second time frame.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that happens, especially at the pro level and in women's basketball. Like when we talk about rules, why is women's basketball play 4 quarters and men's still play 2 halves? I think it's because we are archaic in, like, we should have the same rules worldwide in our sport.
Yeah, fouls. I hate 5 fouls makes me. I don't know what they have to do in college, but make it so that a 6 fouls is an extra free throw or something. What?
I love the 2 20-minute halves.
No, the halves I agree with, but the fouls drive me nuts. Because so many times you see a game, especially when we get to the NCAA tournament, where a guy gets 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes and then they have to sit for the rest of the half. And it's like, I want to watch them play the best players.
I do know for sure calling a timeout and advancing the ball is a great rule.
That would be great.
It's because you're going to have way more late game situations than just inbounding the ball with 3 seconds and hoping somebody
chucking it.
Joey asks, is the 2018 comeback versus Cincinnati the greatest comeback in March Madness history?
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Unbiased.
Yes. It was against Coach Cronin. He's gotten me back now, though.
Yeah.
For that one game. But that game was interesting because we stopped guarding their point guard. And then they brought in a backup point guard, and we didn't guard him. And so we literally played 5 defenders on 4 and just made a decision that the point guard position was going to have to shoot against us. We didn't start fouling and all that. They kept shooting.
They just kept shooting.
We're like, there's a reason we're not guarding you.
USC head coach Eric Musselman. Coach Musselman, can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. It's been awesome.
All right, guys, that's it for Wake Up Barstool today. World Baseball Classic tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. Love you.